I would love to move it forward. We're so far a little bit behind schedule now. Continue asking the questions on the chat room for specific speakers. But I think I will now ask to move from the commercialization to the R&D side so that we can get also the point of view of the school, UP in this case. So I have asked Louis Sison of the UP System Tech Transfer Office to kind of describe the environment in UP now, being the biggest R&D institution in the academia in terms of the challenges as well in translating and supporting commercialization efforts of UP systems, UP as a whole's R&D. So Louis, I hope you're able to connect and be able to do your presentation now.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, Al. Good morning, everyone. Especially to my our colleagues in industry and academia. Are you able to see my slides? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. And I hope my audio is okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my camera off to keep the bandwidth to minimize the bandwidth. Okay. So I'll go over some of the initiatives we've implemented in the past couple of years, and then I'll share with you some of the results we've had running those initiatives to support innovation and technopreneurship on campus. Oops. Okay. So I'm glad Giselle is here. This first initiative was we launched it during her administration, during her time as Vice President for Academic Affairs. So this is the Invention Disclosure Incentive Award. As you know, in the university, we're always trying to come up with all sorts of legal ways to provide more to our faculty, and this is one of them. So what we were trying to do here is to match the publication incentive that faculty normally get for publishing in journals and conferences. So we wanted to match that to support tech transfer. So we started with a 40,000 peso incentive, and with the support of President Manicon, we're working to increase this the amount even further. No? Okay, and and this wasn't a guaranteed home run in the begining, and we had to, in a way, do door to door to get this program going. We visited a lot of campus. We visited individual departments and institutions just to be able to work with the top researchers and make sure they interact with us so that we can help them with their technologies. So when we started, we had a more than half. We're past the halfway mark. I think this is 56 awardees so far, and we've been tracking their progression in terms of the technology readiness level. So I think we have a good number past the lab stage. So again, the lab stage, lab testing is TRL 4. And then the next stage after that, you start pilot testing and you start scaling up. Okay. We also, of course, when you talk about invention disclosure, the IP is one of the key outputs. So we've also been tracking the filings as well. And so the good news is we have a lot already in the pipeline and at the various stages of filing. Okay, so I hope I'm not gonna go over the individual cases so much, but I hope just by looking at the titles you get some idea as to the different kinds of technologies that we're working on, we're supporting in our portfolio. Okay. And in terms of commercialization pathways, there's a good number of spin-offs, and I'll highlight a couple of them in a while. and also there are several that are under licensing. And there's one case that's kind of a public good in terms of rolling it out to communities. So that's an environmental technology for the small scale mining industry. Okay, so some highlights of the spin-offs. This one is from UP Visayas, Dr. Garabay. So this is Algacon Aquafeeds. So they're spinning it off, and they entered into a partnership also with Sante Feeds. Okay, and this one is from UP Los Baños. This is treatment of the Fusarium wheel. So they also recently reached some, and then we also have from Diliman, we have one technology on e-vehicles. Okay, so they piloted in several sites around the country already. And then we have this one is in environmental technology and AI. So this is Fish Eye, co-founded by professors from our Marine Science Institute and Department of Computer Science, professors David and Naval. Okay. So that is one of our older initiatives in TTBDO. A new one that we just launched the other year is called this is another excuse for us to give additional financial support to our faculty. This is unlike the Invention Disclosure Incentive Award, this is a more proactive approach in that we provide more intensive mentoring to our researchers. And we do this even though, so typically when you talk about invention disclosure, you're assuming that there is already, some technology or a lot of R&D already done. Okay, let me just check if, okay. But in many cases, there are researchers that, maybe especially those who just got back maybe from their PhD studies, maybe they're just starting out, and they would like to get on the fast track to making an impact and help, and they need help defining an R&D roadmap. Okay, and connecting to industry. So that's the primary purpose of the University Innovation Fellowship. So it's a one semester renewable program that we started last year. I'm glad I think there's at least one fellow here. I think Joyce is here. And we're also glad that one of our fellows also kind of stepped into a tech transfer role also after the initial work with us as a University Innovation Fellow. That's Dr. Jong Vasquez. And then we have our second batch right now, also from diverse fields. I already mentioned Professor Garibay with Algacon. And then we also have Dr. Pangan, and so Dr. Pasaporte is working on renewable plastics, and then agricultural feedstocks for that. Okay. So how have so this we're just on our second batch, and we're launching our third batch this coming semester, and we're, even with a modest pilot, we've made a lot of progress with our fellows, and some of them we've even helped in terms of submitting industry collaboration funding proposals. Okay. And the last initiative that I'm going to walk you through, and this is my other hat as the project leader of the UPSCALE Innovation Hub. So in addition to supporting spin-off companies and startups, we also launched what we call the market to lab. So you might be confused initially. Normally we hear of lab to market now, but this is the opposite. So you can think of it as market pull. So we talk to various industries, try to identify their challenges, and then we match them up with researchers to address that might have solutions to those challenges. Okay, and we just started our second batch. We had a few industry collaborations started in our first batch, and in our second batch, we were able to submit, I think, 9 proposals in various sectors from agritech to construction, furniture, water and environment, renewable energy. I think we have 2 there. We have 1 in biomedical devices, and we even have 1 on health and beauty, and that's also in partnership with a social enterprise venture. All right, so and we're excited about these 3 initiatives, and we're working to scale them up and have more involvement from the not just the UP community, but also our other academic partners. So I'd like to thank the TTBDO and UPSCALE team who helped me with these slides, Cedric, Aina, Diane, Mardi, and of course Al. And on the UPSCALE side, we have Chris and Det, Roger, one of our senior partners, Jane, Marge, Mark, Mari, and Ariel, and of course the UPSCALE Innovation Hub is also supported by DOST Fishered, and I think Eric will talk a bit more about how they're also supporting the innovation ecosystem. All right, so that's my short talk, and let me know later if you have any questions, or please post in the questions on the chat.
Thank you, Louis. So I hope that the people in the audience have a little bit of a flavor on what UP, actually our group at the Tech Transfer and Business Development Office has been pushing for more spin-outs. But before you do that, you start with the patents, as Carlito described it, and then be able to look at the market and talk to the customers that's what Jerome is doing now. And then moving into eventually, hopefully, raising money and venture capital. That's what I hope for. I was at a session of Fishered last week on the other spin-out groups that I've been mentoring, and I told them, how are you guys going to stay alive during this pandemic lockdown? And a lot of them are still grappling with the idea about what's capital, private capital raising look like. And hopefully we can demonstrate that with Jerome with the help of LaSalle at this point, because he's based in LaSalle. But we've done that for UP, and I'm hoping that some of the spin-outs, including Pros Naval, who's on the other session today, who wanted to be here, wanted to explore that opportunity, considering that we've at least crossed over already from the IP development to the market evaluation. Of course, Gani has spoken about the regulatory pathways for some of the Tuklas Lunas work. So I hope you're getting a full picture of the ecosystem for those people who are in the audience. And so without much questions first, I think we'll